Okay, so there's this guy. And, you know, he's driving to work. It's a Monday. Nobody likes Mondays. You know, I guess some people like Mondays. There's gotta be people who like Mondays. Do you like Mondays? Let me know in the chat. Anyway, this guy's driving to work. It's a Monday. And he's running a little late, but not too late. It'll be fine. His boss understands. You know, this traffic happens, and he is definitely hitting some traffic. He is definitely hitting some traffic. Yeah, no one likes traffic. So he's hitting some traffic, and he's at a light. He's at a red light. It's been red for a while, and he's bopping along to the local radio. He's listening to some college station. They're playing some tunes he likes. He really identifies with. And he hears the sound. Whomp. And he's like, wow, that was a weird sound. To hear in traffic. It sounded kind of like something fell off the back of a car, you know? Whomp. Whomp. And he hears it again. He hears that whomp again. Whomp. Whomp. And he's like, wow, what is that whomp sound? What is that whomp sound? No, it's more like whomp. Whomp. And so he looks in front of him, the car that's in front of him, and it's not even a car. It's a hearse. It is a hearse. It is a hearse in front of him. And he's like, it kind of sounds like the whomp is coming from that hearse. And he hears the whomp again. Whomp. And the hearse in front of him moves when he hears that sound. So he's pretty convinced that it is in fact, you know, the hearse that is making that whomp sound. Yep. And so he's like, wow, that is a weird sound. I hope everything is okay in that hearse up there. I hope that everything is okay in that hearse. I hope that everything in that hearse is okay. Whomp. He hears it again. The hearse just is moving a lot more now. Every time he hears the whomp, the hearse is just shaking around now. Whomp. Whomp. And then he's like, man, he starts thinking about what he's gonna have for dinner. He starts thinking about what he's got left in the fridge. He's not even thinking about the whomp anymore, honestly. He's like, he's accepted it as part of his life now, that he hears that whomp as he's sitting here at this red light. So he's thinking about dinner. He's got some leftover, you know, macaroni. He's got some leftover macaroni in the fridge. But he's had that leftover macaroni for like the past couple nights. So he's kind of sick of it. He's thinking maybe I should just order a pizza, you know, instead of the leftover macaroni. But then all of a sudden he hears the biggest whomp he's heard yet. He hears the biggest whomp that he's heard yet. And the back of the hearse, it opens up. The back of the hearse just swings open. And he sees this coffin. He sees this coffin in it. It just slides out. It just slides out and lands on the ground with this big whomp sound. With this big like whomp. This big whomp. This huge whomp sound. It just hits the pavement and then slides slowly right into his car. Just right into his car. Making a dent right in the front of his car. And he's like, wow, I hope everything is okay. And for a moment, he continues thinking about the pizza that he wants to order. But then he's like, oh wow, yeah, I should probably get out of the car and see if everything's alright. I should probably see if everything's okay with the hearse. And then he starts thinking, man, is there someone in that coffin? Is there someone in that coffin? No, there can't be someone in that coffin. There can't be someone in that coffin. That would be illegal. To put someone in a coffin and carry them around in a hearse as if they're dead. That would be against the law. That would be against the law. And so he gets out of the car and he walks over to the coffin just to see if everything's okay. And then the coffin just with a big whomp. With a big whomp sound. Just stands up vertically. And then slowly turns to face him as if it was a living object. And at this point he's like, wow, this is terrifying. This is the most terrifying thing I've seen, you know, in most of my adult life. This is the moment. This is real scary. Yeah, it is real scary. It is real scary, this coffin. This coffin turning around, looking at him. What should I do? What should I do, he thinks to himself. Should I get back in my car? Should I run away? A million things start flying through his head right now. But he doesn't get a chance to think about it too long because the coffin just starts wumping towards him. Wump, 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 wump. It is like jumping towards him, like hopping towards him with a big wumping sound. Wump, 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 wump. That is what the coffin is doing. And he's like, I gotta get out of here. I definitely need to leave. And so he jumps back in his car, and he just pulls around the hearse. He just pulls around the hearse and drives right into traffic. He just drives right into traffic. And the coffin keeps coming after him. Wump, 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 wump. The coffin is now chasing him as he's driving in the car. The coffin is just hopping along at 20, 30 miles an hour. Wump, 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 wump. Meh. Yeah, meh. It doesn't make that sound. It makes just a wumping sound. And so the coffin's coming after him. And he starts speeding. He starts speeding away from it. And as he's speeding away from it, he notices he passes the cop. He passes the cop, and the cop turns on its cop sirens and starts chasing after him. And he can see in his rearview mirror. He can see the police officer, and he can see behind the police officer this coffin jumping around, just jumping around on the road. Wump, wump, wump. But he's like, you know what? I need to respect the rule of law. I need to respect the rule of law, and I gotta stop and pull over for this police officer and explain myself, explain the situation. I'm sure that he will understand. I'm sure that he will get it. He will know why I am speeding, and I think that I will get off with a warning. I think I will get off with a warning. And so he pulls off to the side of the road, and the cop pulls up behind him. Wump, wump, wump. He can hear the coffin coming towards him as well. And the cop is taking his time. Man, this cop is really taking his time. He's sitting in the car, probably looking up his license plate. The cop is definitely taking his time here. Yeah, and the guy is way late for work at this point. The guy is just super late for work, but he's not really worried about that. He's not really worried about that. Wump, wump, wump. The coffin's continuing to move forward at a pretty slow pace now. Honestly, it really seems like the coffin is going for dramatic tension here. And the cop finally gets out of the car and starts walking up. And the guy rolls down his window. And the cop walks up and he says, hello. Hello, I am a police officer. I am an officer of the law. I am an officer of the law. And the police officer is like, I'm an officer of the law, and I pulled you over because you are speeding. And the guy's like, yes, I am aware of the situation. I'm aware of the entire situation. So, I gotta explain myself now. And then the officer's like, do you have your license and your registration, please? And the guy's like, okay, let me get that. In the meantime, wump, wump. The coffin is getting closer. The coffin is getting closer. Wump, wump. And the guy starts fumbling through his, his glove compartment, looking for his license. Looking for his registration. He knows where the license is. License is in his pocket, in his wallet. But the registration, it's somewhere in the glove compartment, along with, with some maps and stuff. Some maps. And so he has a granola bar in there in case he gets hungry. He's got a granola bar in the glove compartment box. And finally he finds his registration and he hands it to the police officer along with his license. And the police officer's like, I'll be right back. And the police officer goes back to his car. In the meantime, wump, 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 wump. The coffin is slowly inching towards him. It moves past the cop car, very slowly, sliding along the ground with a little slidey wump sound, like shwump, 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 shwump. That is the sound that it is making as the coffin slides along the ground. And the officer goes back into his car and he starts looking up the license and registration. Shwump. Shwump. The coffin's getting real close now. The cop spends about a minute, and then, and then he comes back out of his car and he walks up to the guy and he says, okay, so I see that you have no prior speeding fines. So, this is a first time offense. You were going 20 miles over, but I'm gonna mark it at 8 so you don't get any points on your license. And the guy's like, oh, thank you, officer. I really appreciate that. Also, there's a coffin. There's a huge coffin that is just coming to get me. It's just a big coffin that's coming to get me, and that's why I was speeding. There's this huge coffin. There is this massive coffin that's just coming after me. And the police officer's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, there's this coffin. I was at a red light, okay? And I was thinking about pizza. And this hearse was in front of me. And I heard this whomp sound. And this coffin flew out of the hearse. And it's been chasing me ever since. And the police officer's like, what, a coffin? And the guy's like, yes. Yeah, a coffin. I was pretty clear about that. And the police officer's like, well, there's a coffin right over there. And the guy looks over and there's a coffin, like, looking in the passenger window now of his car. And he's like, oh my god, that is the coffin. That is the coffin. That is in fact the coffin right there. The one that's been chasing me. And the police officer's like, oh jeez. I should probably do something about this. So the police officer walks around the side of the car to talk to the coffin. And the coffin just immediately crushes the police officer to death. The coffin just slams down on the police officer, and the police officer essentially, like, vaporizes, just explodes into a mist. Just a mist of blood. It is horrifying. It is horrifying. And the guy's like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. And he puts his license and his registration away. And then he speeds off. He just speeds off. He just speeds off down the road. Down the road. Yep, he speeds off down the road. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, he says to himself. And the coffin starts speeding off towards him. You know, it can definitely move pretty speedy when it wants to. When it's not being, like, you know, all dramatic and slow. And so he starts speeding away. He's like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And he's like, I gotta get home. I gotta lock myself in my house and then figure out where to go from there. And so he takes a right. He takes a right onto a road that he knows will eventually lead him to a subdivision. And he takes that road, he looks behind him in the mirror, and the coffin's coming right at him. Just whomp, 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 whomp. Just speeding along. However fast he goes, the coffin somehow manages to keep up, like, exactly the same speed. It is incredible. It is really, this is some coffin, let me tell you. And so he pulls into a subdivision, and he speeds along, and he pulls up, and he accidentally hits his mailbox, but he's like, man, I've been meaning to replace that anyway, that mailbox. I wanted to get a new one. You know, one with a manatee on it. He likes manatees. He likes manatees a lot. So he's gonna get a manatee mailbox. So it's not a big deal that he ran into his other one, because he wanted to replace it anyway. So he pulls up into the driveway after hitting the mailbox, and he hops out of the car. He hops out of the car and he runs up to the door, and down the street here comes the coffin. Whomp, 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 whomp. Wow. Here's this coffin coming at him. Just coming at him. And he opens up the door. He opens up the door to his house and he runs in and he closes the door and he locks it. He just locks it. And then the coffin just slams right through the window. Right through the window that's right next to the door. Just glass everywhere. Glass everywhere. Gets all over the carpet. It's going to be a real pain to clean up. And he starts running. He starts running through his house. And the coffin's chasing after him. And the coffin's got like a can of spray paint. The coffin's got like a can of spray paint. And it's just spray painting rude things on the walls. It's just like spray painting like curse words and like different words for private parts. It's real rude. It's a real rude coffin. Let me tell you, it is a rude coffin right here. And he starts running through the house, and the coffin opens up his refrigerator. And remember the macaroni from earlier? The coffin takes it out, and the coffin just spills it all on the floor. The coffin just takes out the Tupperware of macaroni and just spills it on the ground, and then starts stepping on it. Just stepping on it to make sure it can't be eaten, just to make sure. And you know what the coffin does next? The coffin finds the the little pizza place brochure he's got on his fridge, and he takes it and he rips it up. The coffin just rips it up. The coffin just rips up his pizza place brochure. So the guy doesn't know where to call now. The guy's not gonna know where to call. The guy isn't gonna know where to call for his pizza later. This is a mean coffin. And so the guy starts running. He starts running through his house again, and the coffin, now having ruined his macaroni and his pizza, is chasing after him again, just running into everything, knocking all the picture frames off the wall, making sure to tip over every vase and lamp. And the coffin's like just about to catch up to him, and the guy makes a turn into his bathroom, and he locks the bathroom door, and the Coffin knocks on it, you know, and the guy's like, I'm in here, and the Coffin's like, the Coffin doesn't say anything except for just kind of making a whump sound again as the door gets burst down, as the door just shatters, and the Coffin just slams through it, and the guy's like, oh my god, I'm gonna die in here in this bathroom by this Coffin. Oh my god, oh my god. And so the guy, he doesn't know what to do. He has no idea what he's supposed to do. And so he opens up his medicine cabinet, and he runs through and he grabs his band-aids and he grabs his ibuprofen and stuff, and he has no idea what to do. And just as a last-ditch effort, he grabs some cough syrup, and it stops the Coffin. That is the Coffin joke. I hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed the Coffin joke. I know people in chat like me to tell it. I don't think it's a real crowd pleaser. I do not think that it is a real crowd pleaser. But you know, there it is. There's your Coffin joke. There it is. The Coffin joke.